Hello, dear viewers and dear learners. Welcome back again. As you all know, that 26th WBSET exam was held today in different venues, and now it's time to have analysis of your questions from the subject of English, of course. And here it is. You can see the questions. I have been given X series questions by my student, and let's start the analysis from question to questions. Okay, so which of the following is not a play by Plautus? So Plautus, we all know that the Pot of Gold, famous uh, play, was written by Plautus, and Bachides is same. Formio is not written by Plautus. Okay, except Formio, all the plays are written. So Formio is written by Terence. Okay. Who wrote the poem on the grasshopper and cricket? It is very easy questions. Of course, John Keats. Okay. Uh, the music of nature never ends. In book 9 of Paradise Lost, Eve wanted to do the gardening separately from Adam because it is, from Paradise Lost and in from book 9, the fall. So it is, she wanted to test Adam's personality. Okay. The womanly character was portrayed in this book by John Milton. And here, Eve showed herself as superior to Adam. And this she wanted to fail Adam. And this is what she actually did. Who wins the lying comparison in the play 4Ps? So in 4P, this is an interlude by John Haywood, and 4Ps, the lying comparison was started by none other than the peddler. So option D. In Mamang Dai, the Black Hill, the setting is in Arunachal Pradesh. Of course, Mamang Dai is a Padma Shri awardee, novelist, ex civil servant, and famous Northeast writer. In which of the following plays does Shakespeare make Ulysses expound the Elizabethan view of the universe? So it is, of course, Shakespeare make Ulysses expound the Elizabethan view of the universe. So Troilus and Cressida. So Troilus and Cressida is actually the verse play based on Troy War. All right. Okay. In Ars Poetica, Horace favors the coinage of new words from Greek. Yes. In medias res. All right. Like that terms, Horace intended to coin new terms from the Greek. Which of the following characteristics, according to Longinus, causes an obstacle in the achievement of the sublime? So Longinus sublime is total five, and the obstacles and the hindrance that restrained sublimity to achieve is um, grandiloquent diction. Okay, grandiloquent diction. Okay, which of the following is not true about language? So language does not have a deep structure. It does have deep structure. Noam Chomsky is the man who propounded the theory of surface structure and deep structure. So option C would be the correct answer. Which of the following is not a carved DM poem? So carved DM poem is siege of the day, siege of the moment, and to avail the most of the moment. So Hesperides, of course, Herrick to Daffodils, of course, to his coy mistress, of course, the flea. The flea is written by none other than John Donne. It is a metaphysical poem. Okay. The second Shepherd's play belongs to the Chester cycle, the York cycle, the Coventry cycle, the Wakefield cycle. Yes, so it is a cycle that they are the cycle that were preserved in British Museum, and the plays that were preserved were included in the cycle, and the Wakefield cycle is the circle where Shepherd's play was preserved. Okay, match the events publication of list 1 with their dates in list 2. The gunpowder plot 1605 we can see in the Hollow Man. Okay, Guy Fawkes and the foundation of the East India Company 1600. So if you could find A and B, automatically the rest of the options will be matched. Okay, match the playwrights in list 1 with their plays in list 2. John Lilly, Omen in the Moon, of course. Thomas Lodge, Thomas Kidd, Pandosto. So Thomas, John Lilly and Thomas Kidd, if you and Robert Greene, Rosalind. So of course, A 4 and D 1, C 3. Okay. Who among the following wrote Alton Locke? It's Charles Kingsley. Alton Locke. Alton Locke. Yes, Charles Kingsley. Alton Locke. Hmm. Alton Locke. Charles Kingsley. Novelist. Okay. In which of these theories do we associate the terms hyperreality and simulacrum? So they are the they are the theory of language. So Jean Baudrillard was the man who coined the terms hyperreality and simulacrum and associated with that also. In which of the following had Jacques Derrida amplified the term hauntology? So we all know that Jacques Derrida is a propounder of deconstruction theory, and he Spectres of Marx is the book where he amplified the term hauntology. Okay, and he also coined the term of dramatology by the title name of this same book. Okay, the following quotation is from the preface to mid 19th century novel. Since the author of Tom Jones was buried, no writer of fiction among us has been permitted to depict to his utmost power a man. So it is from the preface to mention that the following quotation is from, okay, it is from the preface of Thackeray. Thackeray. Titmuss, the pen name of Thackeray is Titmuss, Michelangelo Titmuss. So he uh, has written the quotation, and whose writing is from Thackeray. This is Pendennis. So Pendennis would be the correct answer because Pendennis is the text written by Thackeray. The Gypsy Goddess is the first novel written by one of the following Indian poets in English. Identify the poet Minakanda Swami. Yes, Minakanda Swami is the woman novelist who has written Gypsy Goddess. Okay, Across the Blackwater and the Sword and the Sickle are the last two parts of trilogy authored by Mukul Raj Anand. Which one of the following is the first one? So the village, you all know that the famous trilogy of Mukul Raj Anand is the village, the Sword and the Sickle, and Across the Blackwaters. Okay. Which of the following theories is one of the main experiments of psychogeography? So it is Guy Debord. This is a new term recently coined by Guy Debord. James Charles Dickens dedicated hard times to 21 questions to Thomas Carlyle. Thomas Carlyle um, was the man, was the writer, was the thinker who raised voice against child labor and child exploitation. So Charles Dickens, in his Hard Times, also depicted the you know the hard labor by child and children's, and this is why he dedicated his text to Thomas Carlyle. Match the characters in list one with the text in list two. Mr. Sengupta, of course, in Harun and the Sea, A3. Otherwise, it is very common. Mentor's children. B4. So A3, B4, A number. Okay. Who among the following is not an Indian graphic novelist? So graphic novelist in Kiran Nagarkar, Sarnath Banerjee, Sumit Basu, Devasmita Das, all the Bengali writers are graphic novelists except Kiran Nagarkar. Okay. Okay. Given below are two statements, one marked assertion A and other marked reason R. Study the statements and choose the correct option. The phrase egotistical sublime indicates the failure to create characters and incidents that fall outside the author's personal experience. Okay, the reason that egotistical sublime is applied to Wordsworth is because Wordsworth adhered to Longinus theories of the sublime. So it is a term coined by kids. Okay, and he had a total opposite viewpoint of Wordsworth. So it is even sometimes it gets the failure to create characters and incidents that fall outside the author's personal experience. Even sometimes applied to Wordsworth is because Wordsworth is to. So both A and I is correct. Okay. 20th century critics have approached romantic poetry from a variety of theoretical perspectives. Match the critics in list one with their theoretical instruments in list two. So new criticism, of course, Glenn Brooks, D2, D2, okay, and Nicholas Rowe. No, Jonathan Bate is for eco-criticism. B4. B4. That is C. So option C would be the correct. Whose character in Dryden's essay of dramatic poesy analyzes the characteristics of heroic tragedy with special reference to the Siege of Rhodes. The Siege of Rhodes is written by Davenant, I think. Yes, Davenant. So Davenant was the first playwright who laid the path of heroic plays, to Dryden and his successors. So it is Neander himself. So Neander Dryden himself. Okay, okay. Thus, unholy cliche is a term used by Sigmund Freud. Okay, Sigmund Freud. Match the terms in list one with the theorists who articulated them in list two. Commodity fetishism by Karl Marx. Cathexis by Sigmund Freud. So A3, A3, D2, D2. So A number. A would be the correct. Match these American authors in list 1 to the American literary movement in list 2. So County Cullen is related to um, William Burroughs. B number. William Burroughs is related to Beat Generation. Okay, and County Cullen is related to Harlem Renaissance. So A3 and B4, A3 B4, A3 B4. Okay, and Tojake Sange is related to Black Art movements. So C1, C1. So D number, option D would be the correct. Okay. 30 number questions. In the study of theory, Matthew Arnold claims that for the poet, the idea is the text. Okay, for the poet, the idea is the fact. So Matthew Arnold um, was the main critics of in Victorian period, and he has coined the line, the idea is the fact. Okay, what the idea uh, comes up in the poet's mind is actually the fact. Okay, so the poet is full of ideas. The poet values poetic truth more than the imperial truth. So it is the poet is full of ideas. But the C value poetic truth more than the C. C would be the correct answer, I think. Okay, which British author did Bhaktin praise for his superb rendering of dialogism and heteroglossia? So it would be Charles Dickens, not Charles Dickens. Walter Scott, Henry Fielding, Walter Scott. Dialogism and heteroglossia. So dialogism and heteroglossia are the terms coined by Bhaktin, and these terms are applied partially or fully in the author. It is Henry Fielding. Henry Fielding would be the correct answer. Yes, Henry Fielding. Henry Fielding, Tom Jones, of course, dialogism and heteroglossia, who initiated the movement known as nativism that opposed the use of English as literary language in India. So nativism, partly it is uh, similar kind of expression expressed by Kamala Das, expressed by Raja Rao in their writings. So it is directly, I think, Bhalchandra Nemade. Yes, Bhalchandra Nemade. Bhalchandra Nemade is a Dalit writer. Okay, who uphold generally Dalit emotions, Dalit feelings, and Dalit uh, crisis. Okay, in his text, many native speakers of Bengali and Hindi often paper their English with Bengali or Hindi words. One might say that this English Bengalis. Okay, what is the correct description of such time? It is hybridization. Of course, hybridizations. Okay, it is chutnifications, or you can say hybridizations. Okay, chutnification is not there. Okay, hybridizations. Here is a statement followed by two assumptions. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer. And that, what is Indian English? Whose language is that? It is not hostility to English, and that I am pointing attention to, but simply uncertainty over the ownership of the language. Indian English is a hybrid formation and does not qualify as a language. No, no, no. It is using a language is not the same as claiming ownership over it. Using a language is not the same as claiming ownership over. Okay, one is false, one is incorrect, but two is correct. A journal will get an impact factor based on the calculation of citation in the 2 years, 2 years previous, previous experience and citation would be counted as impact factors. What is Urkund? Urkund is anti-plagiarism software. Urkund 219. Okay, so Urkund is anti-plagiarism software. The author who said the darkness is one of the greatest sources of the Gothic sublime is Edmund Burke. Edmund Burke is the thinker, author, philosopher who said that darkness is one of the greatest sources of Gothic sublime. Yes, Gothic sublime, and the contemporary writers of Gothic, poetry and Gothic literature, uh, were, of course, the the Horace Walpole and the transitional poets, of course. Wonderland by Joyce Carol Oates is a novel. It is a series of novels, so it is novel, D number. The bulk of British new historical fiction written in the 20th century revisits Elizabethan period, of course. So new historical fiction written in the 20th century revisits the Elizabethan period. Okay, fiction. Yes, Elizabethan period. Elizabethan period was revived, rewritten, reinvented by the modern writers. Okay. An apology for poetry, Sidney says, our world is brazen, the poets only deliver a golden, and then ascribes this power to the poet's own invention. Which ancient authority does he invoke here? The Our world is brazen, the poets only deliver a golden, and then ascribes this power to the poet's own invention. Uh, it is poets only deliver a golden, and then ascribes his power to the poet's own. It is, I think, Aristotle, because Plato would not be the right option, because Plato was totally against the poets and poetry, and he was of the opinion that the poets should be banished from the republic world. Okay, so it would be Aristotle, I think. In an essay of dramatic poesy, Lycidius contends that the end or function of drama is the delight or instruction of mankind. Which ancient authority is being invoked here? Yes, it is Longinus. Yes, essay of dramatic poesy, Lycidius. So Lycidius content that in it is Horace, Rome. Lycidius is Lycidius is for Christ, is for France. Lycidius for Rome. Junius for England. Yes, Lycidius is for Rome, for Italy. So it would be Horace. Okay, Horace or Longinus, but Horace would be the correct one. I think the term comedy of Minas applied to Harold Pinter plays was coined by Irving Waddell. Actually, the term was coined by Irving Waddell and popularized by Harold Pinter, David Campton also, and F. Simpson also. Okay, Arthur Adamov is the theater of the cruelty. Theater of the cruelty theory was propounded by Arthur Adamov. Okay, which of the following is not unethical research conduct? Unethical research conduct, no, not unethical research conduct. Plagiarism is, of course, unethical research conduct. Falsification data, unethical. Hypothesis, it's ethical. Following unethical. Which of the following is not unethical? Fabrication of proof. I think fabrication of proof, D number, would be. I actually Let me go deep into the questions. It would be, I think, D, fabrication of proof. If you fabricated the proof, then it would be unethical. But here is which of the following is not unethical research conduct. Not unethical research conduct. Hypothesis is not unethical research conduct. C would be the correct answer. Which novel by Virginia Woolf was published? It's Mrs. Dalloway. So in 1922, the most epoch-making year, you know, uh, Wasteland published, Mrs. Dalloway was published, Aaron Ross was published, and Ulysses was published. So four major writers, major work was published in 1922. So this is why the 1992 was marked as a as a dividing factor in the history of English literature. Okay, so which Indian novelist was enlisted in the Spanish Civil War as a soldier? Multraj Anand. You see that Multraj Anand was a soldier for some time, and we can get the clues of his soldiership from his, you know, uh, from his uh, story found in class 12, 11 or 12. Lakshmi and his husband. Okay. So, what is the name of the fictional character, the genial and outspoken host of the Tavern Inn, who accompanied the group of pilgrims of Harry Bailey? Harry Bailey, C number. Which is a Arcana deals with the status of English in India before it is 15 years. So 15 years is the main essay written by Arcana, which was infused with experience by Arcana and deals with the status of English in terms of before and after of independence. Okay, so in which of Jane Austen's novel does Edward Said's cultural imperialism find the links between domestic prosperity and overseas plantation? It is Mansfield Park. So all the works of Jane Austen deal with domestic prosperity, domesticity of life, relationship, etc. etc. So Mansfield Park is the novel where it was set culture and imperialism. Find the links. Okay, the term magic realism was introduced by Franz Rowe. Magic realism introduced by Franz Rowe, popularized by Garcia Marquez, Salman Rushdie. Okay, 15 number. Kazuo Ishiguro get inspiration from a song to complete his novel, The Remains of the Day. The name of the singer is Tom Waits. So Kazuo Ishiguro, you all know that Japanese novelist who won Nobel Prize, and The Remains of the Day is a phrase of a song sung by Tom Waits. So these are the 50 questions that I have tried to my best to give you the right answers, and you can say it is one kind of short term notice. Yeah, that just I got the questions from one of my students, and I tried to um, give right answers with the explanations. So the next 50 questions will be discussed later on.